Welcome to the Intuitive Hour with psychic medium, author, and intuitive life coach, Michelle Beltran. The Intuitive Hour will empower you to learn how to magnify your intuitive voice. Listen in and expand your understanding of what it means to be psychic and how to awaken, amplify, and trust your inner voice.
Have you ever heard your name called only to find no one is there? Or maybe a song lyric pops into your head with the perfect piece of advice right when you need it? If so, you might be experiencing something truly special. Clairaudience. Welcome, everyone. This is the Intuitive Hour. I'm delighted you're here. I'm your host, Michelle Beltran. Let's begin today our episode on clairaudience, the gift of clear hearing. It's one of the beautiful ways our intuition speaks to us. It's the psychic ability to hear sounds, voices, or messages from the spiritual realm. Think of it as tuning into a radio station that's just beyond our normal range of hearing. A channel full of wisdom and guidance. So let's explore how you can start to recognize and nurture this incredible gift naturally within you. And so, in simple terms, clairaudience literally means clear hearing. It's the ability to psychically perceive sounds that aren't coming through your physical ears. I like to describe it as catching a whisper on the wind that carries a profound message meant just for you. This gift is closely connected to your throat chakra. That's the energy center in your neck. If you would, for a moment with me, imagine a glowing, spinning blue light right there in that space. This chakra is the bridge between your physical and spiritual hearing. Just bringing your gentle awareness to this spot can start to awaken your clairaudient potential. You might not be sure if this is one of your dominant psychic senses, and that's just fine. Let's take a moment for a little self-reflection. I invite you to ask yourself first, do you have a knack for remembering the exact words people said? Does music move you on a deep emotional level, sometimes more than visuals? When you watch a movie, are you drawn more to the dialogue than the scenery? Have you heard soft whispers, tones, or even your name when you were alone? If you found yourself nodding along, your intuitive strength might be in your hearing, and often our psychic gifts show up in these very subtle, everyday ways. So here's a quick and simple exercise I invite you to try. Let's do this little experiment right now to feel what it's like. First, find a quiet spot, sit comfortably, bare feet on the ground, flat on the ground if you can, palms on your lap, in an upright, open position. Then take a gentle breath. Breathe in and then swallow. Now pay close attention to the sound of your own swallow. You might do this exercise a few times, but having done so, did you notice how it seemed louder than you expected? That swallow? That focused attention is the first step. When you start to intentionally listen to the subtle sounds around and within you, your psychic hearing begins to activate and grow. Okay, so two ways you might hear messages. Let's talk about that. Clairaudient experiences usually come in two forms. See if either of these sound familiar for you. First, they can come externally. Outer clairaudience, I call it. This is when you hear a sound outside of yourself. It can feel incredibly real, like someone whispering your name right next to your ear, as if they're right there, but they're not. I remember the first few times this happened to me. It was definitely startling. But with time, I learned to welcome it as a clear sign from Spirit. You might also hear sounds internally. Inner clairaudience. This form is much more common. It feels like your own inner voice is talking, actually, but the words or wisdom don't feel like they come from you. It might be a sudden thought that offers a perfect solution or a comforting phrase that feels like a warm hug for your soul. This is how many of our guides and loved ones in spirit communicate with us. So trusting this inner voice, it's a practice, but it's where so much beautiful guidance can be found if you'll listen. All right, so nurturing this gift of clear hearing, developing your clairaudience is like learning to tune into a spiritual radio. It requires patience, practice, and a lot of self-compassion, so please give yourself this. One of my favorite ways to strengthen this ability is through a simple meditation. I suggest perhaps when you're lying down before you go to sleep at night, close your eyes and imagine a radio sitting right next to you. Start by tuning into the sounds in your immediate space. What do you hear? Can you hear your own breath? Is there a hum of an appliance nearby? Then go to the next level and gently expand your awareness a little bit further. So what can you hear outside your room, outside your home? Keep expanding your listening to the wind, to the distant traffic, or even the profound quiet of the night. So you're tuning in to these sounds in layers and going further and further out to discern what you can hear. Spirit loves to use sound to connect. Remember that you might hear a song, a single word, or just a musical note. Whatever comes through, jot it down in a journal without judgment. Keep track of what you hear. Sometimes you'll know what it means in that moment, and sometimes it'll take a little bit of time. So jot it down and refer back to your journal. Definitely, we can hear our spirit guides and our team around us if we listen. One of the most common questions I get: how will I know if it's my guides or just my own thoughts? Excellent question. I always respond when it's asked. So guidance often comes through as a thought that you didn't consciously create. You might suddenly hear in your mind a specific name, a gentle warning to slow down, a comforting message like "you're on track," a song lyric that perfectly matches your situation. Synchronicities that are just undeniable. Those aha moments, you know them. It's so easy to dismiss these moments, though, as imagination. I encourage you to really pause and consider that it might be something more. Listen. Trust. Spirit often uses our own internal voice as a familiar and gentle way to speak to us. You can't receive these messages if you're not listening and open. All right, so I'd like to share a note on psychic protection. As your spiritual senses open up, it's so important to create an energetic boundary. We're working with energy after all, and mischievous low energy sorts can come in from time to time. You want to make sure to be a clear channel for love and light, not a sponge for everything else. A simple and loving way to do this is with a visualization called the protection rose. I teach that in my courses. There is also an episode here at the Intuitive Hour to revisit that tool of the protection rose and protection prayer. In summary, though, simply imagine a beautiful rose floating in the space between you and another person or situation. See it gently absorbing any energy that isn't for your highest good. Any low energy must go to that rose. Remember, only your pure positive essence is allowed in your space. You can replace this rose as often as you feel you need to. It's just a powerful yet gentle way to keep your energy field clear when you're doing this kind of work. An essential tool. Fear can sometimes be the biggest hurdle when we start exploring our psychic gifts, and so it's natural to feel a little uncertain, but please remember, this ability, everyone, is rooted in love and light and grace. It's a sacred and beautiful way for the universe to communicate with you and support you. Be patient and kind with yourself. The more you practice listening to the world around you and the quiet whispers within, the stronger and clearer your inner hearing will become. Your intuition is waiting to guide you. All you have to do is listen. All right, thank you for joining me, everyone. It's been a pleasure to have you with me. I look forward to next week's episode of the Intuitive Hour. Meanwhile, for any comments, questions, or support in developing of your clairaudience ability, please reach out at mbeltran@michellebeltran.com. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Intuitive Hour, please consider following, rating, and reviewing the podcast at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. You're welcome to access Michelle's free controlled remote viewing exercise that will empower you to uncover answers to your burning questions about lost objects, events, or people in the past, present, or future. Visit michellebeltran.com to access this free offering and rediscover what was once lost.